One day I thought, what if there was a story where the characters SpongeBob and Patrick go on a journey and they end up on the surface, which would be not only technically more ambitious, but also just conceptually, you know, that it would kind of bring them into this other reality. That was really the thing that led me to be interested in trying to do a feature with the characters.
It's a road movie. It's a great road movie, adventure, and it's just nuts. I am continually dazzled and delighted with what these guys are coming up with.
SpongeBob came from my interest in the ocean. I was interested in scuba diving early on and surfing and really basically loved the ocean. And it's just the most fascinating place. But I also am interested in animation, so really SpongeBob is a combination of these two things that I really enjoy. I was interested in doing a show that starred one character that was kind of an innocent, based on some of the classics like Chaplin and Laurel and Hardy, that sort of humor where these childlike characters unhinge everybody around them.
In your face!
It dawned on me that a sponge was a really odd animal, and that would make a really strange, oddball center, kind of the center of the world.
Look at this little guy.
That's really where that idea of doing a character about a sponge came from.
Originally, SpongeBob was going to be a realistic sea sponge. He looked like a loofah mixed with a rock, mixed with a potato. Not really telegenic or pleasing to the eyes.
And I was still looking for that kind of squeaky, clean nerd, and I drew a square sponge, like a sink sponge, which isn't a real sponge. Those are actually fake. You know, they're cellulose. But it looked so funny, and it seemed to fit the personality I was looking for. And that's really when things started to take off. I had this square, sponge-shaped oddball that was going to embody innocence in this show. SpongeBob is an adult character that acts like a child, and he has a child's perspective, and he's well-meaning, but this often causes him trouble. I would say the show is really about not losing that, not losing your childlike sense in life, you know, that it can be helpful in solving problems. It also can cause trouble, and it does for him.
We're just kids. A couple of kids in way over their heads.
He is this innocent character. He lives in a pineapple next door to a guy that lives in this Easter Island head-like house, obviously the curmudgeon in town, and that makes for a lot of interesting stories.
I am Roger Bumpus, and I play Squidward J. Tentacles. He's more of an adult, tries to be at least.
I listen to public radio.
He's an octopus, but they call him Squidward. I've never understood. I guess Octoword just didn't work for a name, though. But he's a kind of, I always likened him to the Mr. Wilson to SpongeBob's Dennis the Menace.
Too bad SpongeBob's not here to enjoy SpongeBob not being here.
To me, there's something just so funny about that Jack Benny, loyal to nobody character that Roger Bumpus does such a great job of playing in Squidward.
Mr. Krabs! Oh no, this is terrible! Who's gonna sign my paycheck?
Squidward has a bicycle, and I personally ride a certain type of bicycle, a recumbent bicycle, and they gave Squidward my recumbent bicycle in this. My little inside joke in the whole thing. No one's gonna know it but me.
SpongeBob lives in a pineapple. His neighbor is Squidward, the squid that's a curmudgeon, and then next to him is SpongeBob's best friend, Patrick, who's probably the dumbest guy in town. He lives under a rock, literally.
Patrick is one of the denizens of Bikini Bottom. I'm good buddies with SpongeBob, and we have lots of misadventures.
This one goes out to my two bestest friends in the whole world, Patrick and his big peanut guy.
Everyone knows that Patrick is a dolt.
Did you see my underwear?
No, Patrick.
Except SpongeBob.
Did you want to?
SpongeBob thinks Patrick is a genius. SpongeBob thinks that all Patrick's ideas are good ideas.
I have to use the bathroom.
That Patrick is a smart guy. That Patrick knows what's up.
I'm supposed to get a toy with this?
Patrick is a gamer.
Thanks.
Patrick is definitely a gamer. And it's an interesting world that it has kind of a childlike, I think, experience of the world around them without the guise of supervision. And it's kind of like kids living without parents in a way. I guess you could say that maybe Squidward and Mr. Krabs provide kind of the voice of authority.
What I'm trying to say is, you're just a kid.
But they're not parents, though, so it's kind of a freakish scenario, I think, in that way.
Hello, I like money.
I play Mr. Krabs, SpongeBob's boss, and the only real adult in the regular cast.
$101 for a Krabby Patty?
With cheese, Mr. Squidward, with cheese.
Mr. Krabs is interested in the very mature area of commerce. He's only driven and motivated by money and the acquisition of money, and he hires slave labor like SpongeBob and Squidward, and the only person that he doesn't hire is Patrick, because Patrick's just too stupid to work for nothing.
I love being purple.
We've all had this kind of boss who's just avaricious, greedy, rapacious, and he's the type of person, again, a good guy. Nobody in SpongeBob's world is unrelentingly, unsalvageably evil, but Mr. Krabs represents that aspect of humanity that thinks that getting rich and having money will solve all his problems.
King Neptune is riding toward the Krusty Krab at lunchtime. He's got money.
We added a couple new characters to the movie.
I play King Neptune, who is sort of mean.
He's incredibly bald.
And notice it bald.
He's in denial because he has no idea that he's bald. What does this crown do?
Covers your bald spot.
Which I don't relate to because I've never been bald. This crown does much more than cover a slightly receding hairline. If I were bald, it would be terrible, but I'm not bald.
King Neptune is somewhat, I would say, old-fashioned. He rules by, with the iron fist.
Eugene Krabs, your 6-day reprieve is up, and it is time for you to die.
And Mindy is more progressive. Mindy is his daughter, a mermaid, who will one day be queen of the sea.
This crown entitles the one who wears it to be in charge of the sea. One day, you will wear this crown.
I'm gonna be bald?
Thinning!
I play a character named Mindy. She's a mermaid, and she's not a traditional mermaid. She's very independent, and she's very strong-willed, and she's very, she's a good person. She's got a good heart. And she's kind of just like a regular kid, I guess, except for she's got tail fins.
Daddy, please, I think you're overreacting.
Silence, Mindy!
My dad's this sort of tyrannical, kind of a very pig-headed, sort of big iron-fisted force. And my character's like, oh, come on, Dad, like, can't you just try a little bit of, like, compassion for once?
That would be nice.
Can't you just try to feel something for these little sea creatures? And he's like, no, Mindy, no.
There is nothing else I can do.
You can give SpongeBob and Patrick a little more time.
Except give SpongeBob and Patrick a little more time.
Nobody in SpongeBob's immediate circle of pals is a bad guy or an evil person. Plankton, on the other hand, is evil to the point that he sees being evil and taking over the world as his manifest destiny.
I'm busy planning to rule the world!
I'm Mr. Lawrence.